Welcome to Bear Reacts, where not only do you get a reaction, but also a little history about the song or the artist. If you're new to the channel, please pull up a chair, pour yourself a beverage of choice. But if you're part of that special Bear Army, welcome back. It's nice seeing each and single one of you guys again. Today, we're gonna listen to Best Friend by Yelawolf featuring Eminem. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and let's dive into that track.
Welcome to Bear Reacts.
I'm digging that beat. I'm digging that beat. I like how you can hear it, like it kind of embraces your head, the beat, it just kind of just surrounds you, it's crazy.
Ain't never been much of the church type, but I believe in the last days. I walk through hell almost every night, but I believe it's a pathway. Say boy, what you doing with your life, with those tattoos on your face? Say boy, you know that you'll pay the price. Well, I guess I'll see when I head that way. To the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I hold you nearest, my best friend. Let the trumpets blow with your appearance, I can almost hear it, my best friend. Will you wish me hell upon my soul and spirit? Behold these lyrics, I got a best friend. Yeah, I got a best friend.
Dang, man, this is dope, bro. This is so dope.
I don't know much about holy Bibles, but I grew up in the Bible Belt. I put my love over woman on idol, because I got beat with my mama's belt. But I learned from my mistakes, try hard to respect people for what they believe in. But if you spit on my fucking grave and wish me hell and I wish you hell, I'ma send you straight up to my best friend. To the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I hold you nearest, my best friend.
Oh, this is dope, man.
Blow with your appearance, I can almost hear it, my best friend. Will you wish me hell upon my soul and spirit? Behold these lyrics, I got a best friend. Yeah, I got a best friend.
Damn.
God, please, would you arm me with the armor to calm me when it's drama like Gandhi could have gone the other way many times, could have turned Ali with the llama while I squash my beefs and things seem to be looking decent recently, but don't jinx it. It's like Clint Eastwood looking for peace, though maybe not finna enter the priesthood, but at least should make an attempt to show some remorse and to be some sort of repenter for the people. I've been a minister, not a preacher, but a shit starter and finisher. Into the mind of a thick skin, but a short tipper. This patience of mine is thinner than twine is when I get attacked, so I might say something back that might offend you. So if you don't like when I rap or what I have to say on the mic, then you might wanna act just like quarterbacks and take a fucking hike when I snap, cause I'm a sinner.
I got a best friend.
My balls and intestines, and they never been yes men. They gon' tell me when I'm fucking up the minute I'm ever giving it less than I'm about to vomit and I can feel
Talk about D12.
You're something I can barely stomach, and I only listen to my guts unless you're my fucking belly button. Don't tell me, not doing my
Best friend.
who you think I'm talking
Damn,
about?
it's dope how they intertwine the best friend. Oh, dude, it's all dope. It's all dope.
Best friend.
Shout it out like there's never been a louder mouth. Should've never been a louder mouth. Now that I got a higher power, now when I black out, power out. It's like powerless, but they crowd around. They tend to flock like shepherds. The black sheep, but I'll be the worst thing that these motherfuckers ever heard. When I'm counted out, you'll be DOA. They'll announce or pronounce you dead when they sound it out. So prepare for arrival. Your arch enemy surrounds you now. He's all around you.
Wow, that was dope how they, the way they mixed that. Oh, the way they mixed that is dope.
I'm the Iggy Pop of hip hop when I walk in the booth. Dog on the truth like Biggie rockin' with Tupac in a suit. Talking the proof, dropping the deuce. Fill up a syllable clip like a refillable script. Cock and I shoot. Who you think's my clock that I use that I pull from to get my strength up against these haters? And they'll be waiting at the gate when you get sprayed up, sitting you home straight up to do with my best friend.
To the Father, Son, and Holy
Dang, man. Dang. Man, I don't even know what to say, man. That song is dope. Everything about that song is freaking dope. Eminem's verse, he just kills it. He destroys it. He just puts it all out there. I think that was way more than 16 bars. That had to be like 32 bars because he just kept going and going and going and spitting rhymes. I freaking just sat there and was just mind blown. I was so in shock. I was just like, that's how it felt, man. Like inside, I was just like exploding. It was just all feeling so good inside when you're listening to that song. Because that's a positive track. That is a positive track. You know, and it goes back to the questions that what is this song about is what a lot of people question, man. It's not just about you talking about a best friend. This song is talking about how do you overcome obstacles. And it's just like, wow, it makes you sit there and think, how do you overcome them all? I love this track. Dude, like, it's just such a good track. I highly recommend anybody that loves Eminem, Yelawolf to check this track out. And I'm late to the game. I'm late to the game on this. Where were y'all at to recommend this track for me? This is dope. But now it's time to get into the history. Boom! Now that I've heard that, this song really isn't about a person. And the story behind it goes a lot deeper than most people think. Before Yelawolf ever met Eminem, he found one of Eminem's old demo tapes, probably back around 2000, and he kept it.
Okay, so in 2000, I was in New York, and I signed a production deal with this dude named Mark Siegel. And Mark Siegel passed on Eminem. And in his office, he had a whole stack of tapes, and I just happened to see a tape on the floor. It's 2000, and it was an In Too Deep tape, which was white rappers, right? And he had overdubbed In Too Deep with his demo,
Okay.
Eminem, that he gave to Mark. Mark passed on him. So I put that tape in my pocket. I stole it, and I took it home, and I told my cousin Jared, I was like, and we're sitting in an apartment in a fucking rusty ass 82 box Chevy Caprice, you know, like on food stamps and a fucking in the hood basically. And I pulled that tape out and I was like, look at this shit. I was like, one day I'm gonna put this in his hands, bro. I promise you. And he goes, damn right you are.
At that time, he was broke and just trying to survive. He told his cousin one day he would give that tape back to Eminem. But even years later, he was still grinding. He talked about living with no heat, boiling water just to take a bath, and just trying to take care of his kids while chasing his musical dream. Then his song, Pop the Trunk, started getting attention. And that's what got Eminem to notice him. When they finally met, Eminem walked in rapping Yelawolf's lyrics back to him, word for word, hitting every single word.
He walked around the corner reciting every word to Pop the Trunk without even saying what's up. He just was rapping it. Mind blowing, man. You know? I mean, I was, you know, like any other, you know, white boy that was chasing this, so to speak, you know, this hip hop dream. You know, it was crushing to have, you know, this to not be represented correctly. You know what I mean? Like what always wanted a representative. You know what I mean? Like somebody has to get this correct in a major way.
And that promise he made years earlier, he took out that tape and he handed it to Eminem.
10 years later, I put that tape right in his hands. And I didn't ask for a photo. I didn't ask for any documentation for it. That was for me.
Nice.
The same tape that he'd been holding on for over 10 years, he gave back to Eminem. Now, when it comes to Best Friend, Yelawolf said the song was already personal before Eminem even got on it. He said he sent it to him and basically said, if you understand this song, it's going to be something special.
And I just thought, man, if Marshall, if he gets on this and understands this concept, that it would be out of here, you know. So I just crossed my fingers and sent it to him, you know. Luckily, he understood it perfectly, you know, and obviously killed it. Yeah, I called him and I was like, man, I sent him the record, and then a week or so later I called and just pushed, like, you know, if you understand what this is, it's gonna be great, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's cool too, you know.
And if you know Eminem, he doesn't co-sign just anybody. Yelawolf said the song is meant to be open.
But if you actually touch on this particular, because it's a vague record of, there's no really definition of what either one of us are really pointing to.
There's no one clear meaning. It's really about questions. What do you believe in? So sit back and think about these. What do you believe in? What's out there for you? What keeps you going when things get hard?
You know, like, what is it? You know, what do you believe in? You know, do you really believe in this? Do you not? What are you going for? You know, and I think that's like a question everybody has. You know, like, what is this? What's out there for me? Is there something there for me, or like, or this childhood thing that most people, not most people, but a lot of people have, is this invisible thing that protects you. You know, you grow up to learn, you know, a lot of times it's like Santa Claus, you know.
Now, see, he grew up in that Bible Belt around a lot of religion, but he also talked about questioning those religions and trying to figure out what actually was real.
Well, me, I'm talking about my life.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Raised in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
You know, which was 10 churches on one street and in a 1 mile stretch, all saying that they got the way and all damning each other at the same time, and still eating lunch with each other and smiling and drinking beer. It was just, you know, I grew up like, man, this is some bullshit. You know, none of this makes sense for me personally.
And now Eminem, he brings his own story into it with references to people he lost, like Proof, while still leaving the meaning open for the listener.
I mean, there's some references to Proof, you know, and obvious references to Proof in his verse, but there's also some other points made that leave the mind to wonder, you know, like, what is it?
So when you hear Best Friend, it's not really about a single person or a single entity. It's about whatever you believe in when everything else is going wrong or everything else is falling apart. Who was that person to you? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that, I want to thank you all for choosing Bear Reacts. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Smash that like button. And I hope you all have a good day. God bless. And as always, deuces. Until next time, keep rocking. Keep the spirit of music alive. God bless everybody. Bye.